I just want to share with somebody else that's on a healing journey that when God gives you a strategy, stick with it. I had my blood counts drop very low and my neutrophils drop low. And when you're in chemo, if they're not high enough, they will not treat you. I tried doing other things or what I was reading on the internet to try to get my levels up because they had dropped. And I just knew I was doing the right thing, right? And after I tried the new things, I started trying to eat things for my liver when God had already given me a strategy of what to eat. And that was simply adding some beef back into my diet. And I went the other direction because I thought it was better. And I heard it was better. And I listened. Above what God had already showed me to do. And do you know, my blood counts dropped. And I was devastated, to be honest. I was so disappointed. It took me a night to get over that because I was like, God, I read this and I tried it and it didn't work. It didn't work for me. It got worse. And I talked to someone at my appointment, and what she told me is that you can't do anything to get those levels back up. You can't eat anything to get those things back up. But I went to what God gave me to do first, which is adding some beef back in my diet, which is hard for me because I'm not really a beef eater. But I did it anyways. And do you know, this week when they checked my blood, it was back at the level that it was, what was it, like 2-3 weeks ago. It had come back up simply by me obeying and doing the strategy that God had already given me to do. It's sometimes the simple things. We look for big things for God to tell us to do. And outlandish things like, for him to tell us to do. But sometimes it's just the simple things. And it's the act of obedience bigger than that. So when God gives you a strategy, if he says go out and rake the yard, go rake the yard. If he say, go tell that sister, we're red tomorrow. Go do it. Because what God says, he's going to back up. That's one thing I'm learning in this season. And he will do it quickly. I promise you, I prepared to wait for several things, and God just sped them up within the last 4 months. And he has, financially blessed me. And somebody called me the other day and said, we owe you more. Just because of my obedience. So whatever God is giving you to do, the strategy that God is giving you to do, and right now my healing is more important than anything. And my health. I've never been sick before. And so this is a new healing journey for me. And so I'm learning so much. But one of the first things that I'm learning is self-priority, giving myself grace, and most of all, obeying the strategy of God. Whatever God says do, put my faith in, plug my faith in right there, and don't move it. Because listen, God will always show up for you. He's going to overperform for you when you trust him.